Afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Bill Rentschler with meteorologist Brandon Rector in the 1011 Now streaming studio. Brandon, this is your first streaming studio experience. So there's a lot of buttons, a lot of knobs over here.
There is a lot here. There is a lot.
It is a lot.
But it's nice to be here.
It is welcome to have you. You are the last meteorologist to make your debut on the streaming channel.
Or on the stream.
Yeah, exactly, on the streaming desk. So we hope to have you here many more times. Yes. But today we're talking about the potential for snow. So maybe many more times, but talking about nice weather instead of snow.
Yes, yeah, let's hope so. Yeah, so much warmer temperatures.
Yes, another kind of dreary March day out there. The first really had a couple nice days, but really a lot of the first part of March here has been kind of gray, kind of dreary. Yeah, a little cool.
And that may continue, I think, as we head even through what's left of the work week and into the weekend. It may not be until Sunday. I know it's Wednesday, and I'm talking about Sunday.
By then you're talking mid-March already.
I know.
Today's March 8th.
Yeah, that's when we might start to see partly cloudy, maybe mostly sunny in some areas. So yeah, we're going to be dealing with the cloud cover, kind of these dreary conditions, I think, as we head throughout much of the next 4 days.
And you can see kind of the dreary conditions when we pull up our weather graphics. Again, here in Lincoln, we kind of got we have to point the Skyview camera down so we can really get a shot down at 40th and Vine. 36 right now at the airport. A little bit of a breeze, though, is making it feel colder, and that's kind of the story for just about everyone across the state. Kind of cold, kind of dreary. O'Neill looks like they had some snow on the tower. Some rime ice maybe, and temperatures in the 20s there.
Yeah, and we've had that fog, drizzle, mist kind of action as we've gone throughout much of this afternoon, especially in portions of southwest and in the east is where we had that lower visibility. You can see in O'Neill there, it's 10 miles, whereas as you saw in Lincoln, it was 3 miles, and we've had to, as you mentioned, point the Skyview down towards the street so you can see anything at this point. And I think we're going to continue with those areas of fog and drizzle here for the next few hours, and then maybe later tonight is when we'll start to see some of the more significant rain and snow showers start to develop.
Yeah, if you watched it all yesterday or even on Monday, we've talked several times about several systems moving through. We kind of had one move through yesterday. It brought some scattered light snow, really nothing. The most significant, though, we've always talked about, it was going to be tonight into the day tomorrow.
Yes.
And we already have winter weather advisories out across parts of the state, but you can see regionally, again, almost all of the Dakotas, much of Minnesota, Iowa, Montana, parts of Wyoming, under that winter weather advisory or a winter storm warning for this system that's moving through.
Yeah, and in our area, you can see it's kind of not everybody is under an advisory at this time. In the north, we're talking about Ainsworth into northeastern Nebraska. That's mainly for snow. There could be some freezing precipitation as far as like maybe some ice, maybe a glaze there, but it's more for the moderate snowfall accumulation that's possible in northern Nebraska, is why they have that winter weather advisory there that begins tonight, goes into, I think, north central, northwest, as you had there. It's midnight tonight through midnight tomorrow night. And then you can see in northeastern Nebraska, I believe it's 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. or
6 a.m. Looks like 6 a.m. That's for Dakota and Dixon counties.
I think it actually starts a little bit sooner than that, a little to the west of that, 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. if you check that out towards, they say, Knox County.
Yep, there we go.
And so that's mainly, again, for the potential for moderate snow. Now you head towards central into southwest Nebraska. You can see the winter weather advisories there. Those will begin tonight, going into Thursday as well. Those are going to be mainly for the potential for some maybe light ice accumulation. I'm talking glaze, few hundredths of an inch, maybe even up to a tenth of an inch in a few spots. Now, even if you see your area, your county not highlighted in an advisory, doesn't mean you're not going to see your snow or ice. It just means you're maybe not reaching the advisory criteria from the National Weather Service at this time.
And certainly enough ice, any untreated elevated surface, going to be slick and potentially slick as you head out the door tomorrow morning.
Right.
So you need to take it slow, give yourself a little bit of extra time.
Yeah, bridges, overpasses, untreated surfaces. Be careful, as I always say, on those sidewalks and those parking lots. You know, you can get those little patches of ice that can catch you off guard pretty quick, so you got to be careful.
And this is what everyone really wants to know about, is the snowfall potential. I think you would probably agree with me when I say this. There's not been a whole lot of necessarily model consensus leading up to this event. We've maybe kind of narrowed things a little bit today, but there's still some question marks. So again, make sure you check in with, again, Ken this evening, Brad tomorrow morning for the very latest.
Yeah, this is what we're going with for now, as you see on your screen for the snow. Still looks like northern Nebraska has that potential for maybe some moderate accumulation. We're talking 3 to 5 inches of snow. But then as you head farther to the south, that's where things become a little bit more questionable. Again, it's southeastern Nebraska, northeastern Kansas. Models are not agreeing on where that rain snow line could end up. And it's yet again one of these situations where a degree or two is going to make all the difference. If we can get a heavy enough band of precipitation to come through, get that colder air to the surface, that may change the game a little bit.
Talking a couple inches of snow pretty quick.
Yeah, that could change the game. But for now, we still think a trace to an inch, McCook, Hastings towards Lincoln, 1 to 3 there near North Platte, Grand Island, Columbus. Then you start heading up towards Ainsworth. We're talking 3 to 5 inches of snow being possible. But again, stay tuned as we go through tonight and into tomorrow morning, because things could change as we get more model information. If we start to get more of a consensus, then we may make some adjustments to
I know
this.
your favorite snowfall forecast is when all the models really dial in on a solution as it's happening.
Yeah, that would be nice if they were all like, it's going to be this much. But yeah, for the last couple of days, we've seen a wide range in the models as far as there, and you can see,
see it right here.
Even now. You've got a couple of models saying we're going to get nothing in Lincoln, and we still have 2-3 inches in some spots in the next 36 hours. So I lean more towards that trace to 1 right now, because one thing that I'm looking at is the air temperature. We got to get it cold enough. I mean, yes, can it snow 33, 34? Yes, but it's not going to accumulate like it could if it was, say, 30, 31, maybe even 29. Also, you got to take into account ground temperature right now is a little bit warmer. So that may also limit our ability to accumulate.
And so I think regardless of how much snow we see, I do think we're going to see some moisture.
Yes.
If you look at the liquid precipitation, again, same graphic, just liquid precip versus snow. And again, we're talking maybe a tenth, maybe a few tenths of an inch of liquid precipitation falling in Lincoln and across the area. Again, the big question, the reason why we get the big bucks, Brandon, is what kind of precipitation is that going to be, liquid or snow? I think probably a mix.
Yes, I do think, especially in southeastern Nebraska, south central, it's going to be definitely a mixture. It could be one of these type deals this time around where we have snow for a bit of time, then it's maybe a rain-snow mix, and maybe it's all rain, then maybe it's back to snow. It's just going to be a little bit of a mixed bag in a sense.
So everything right now is fairly quiet. Again, plenty of cloud cover. Brandon mentioned it, fog and mist across the state. But as far as precipitation radar, not picking up anything just yet. So things are quiet. This isn't going to be really starting until we hit overnight tonight into Thursday morning. You look at regionally, again, things fairly quiet for us. So if we run you through Skycast, again, as we head through this evening, kind of towards 10 o'clock, midnight hour, starting to see maybe some isolated to widely scattered snow showers develop across parts of northern Nebraska, but things really ramp up as we head overnight and then into your Thursday morning. So again, that Thursday morning commute across much of probably central and eastern Nebraska, you could be dealing with snow, you could be dealing with a wintry mix. Again, it's one of those things where you want to take it slow as you head out the door. I know a lot of schools are off starting tomorrow. My kids are out, spring break and things like that coming up. So hopefully that kind of takes some pressure off the roads.
And one thing I do want to mention here is, as you can see, this particular model does have that rain-snow line more into northeastern Kansas. However, there are some models that have that rain-snow line actually northwest of Lincoln. So that's what we're looking at right now, is where is that rain-snow line? And it just seems like it's been kind of the common theme this winter, Bill. You know that southeastern Nebraska, northeastern Kansas has been really difficult.
Right on the edge.
Because we're either that rain-snow line is just right there, or temperatures are just right there, give or take a degree or two. So, but this particular model does have us more into the snow. And if we can get a decent band of snow to come through here, we may stay more snow than rain for a time. But we'll see how things play out as we head towards. But either way you slice it, definitely got to be careful for that Thursday morning commute.
And so it looks like precipitation likely continuing through the morning, and then I think probably moving out of the area pretty quickly from west to east into the early afternoon. I think by this time tomorrow, most of that's likely east of the area, and we're done with it.
Yes, yeah, it looks like we were probably done by evening commute time, but still whatever has fallen will probably still be an issue for the evening commute, so still need to be careful. And of course, this model, as you can see, starts to clear some of that cloud cover out as we head into Thursday evening, but if it goes even more beyond this, as we head into Friday, those clouds are going to build back in, and we're looking at a mostly cloudy, if not cloudy day on Friday. Should be a dry day. At one time, we thought maybe some of this precipitation with this system would linger into early Friday. Don't think that's the case anymore at this point, but you can see that we still have quite a bit of cloud cover there on Friday, and then we have another system that could be heading our way for the weekend.
Friday night into Saturday morning.
Exactly, Friday night into Saturday, but there could be a mixture of precipitation.
And that looks like, this is the European model. Again, it looks like it keeps it mainly rain at this point, but again, we still have several days between now and then, so again, certainly stay tuned. Doesn't look nearly as impactful as the system that we're going to have move through tonight into the day tomorrow, but again, something to watch. And then it does look like we at least dry out for the day on Sunday to finish the weekend, so Sunday probably the pick day dry out of those 2 weekend days.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think our streak of really nice weekends
Kinda coming
for
to an
most
end.
of the area. I know not everybody in this area has had a great weekend necessarily. I know some places were still in the 30s last weekend, but many of us had a really nice weekend last week. Don't think that's the case this weekend.
Finally break the streak.
Yep.
Now, as far as temperatures go, we'll run through these pretty quickly. Again, we have our 5 o'clock show coming up here in just a few minutes. Tomorrow morning, again, these aren't too bad. We're looking at low 20s to low 30s across most of the state. Staying chilly tomorrow, probably one of our colder days over the next week. Highs in the upper 20s to upper 30s for most. Thursday afternoon, probably feeling a little bit cooler than that with a bit of a breeze. Friday morning, we're talking teens to upper 20s. Friday afternoon, again, maybe a little better. Still looking at low 30s to low 40s for a lot of the state. And then into the weekend, again, low temperatures staying fairly comfortable for us. High temperatures trying to warm up at least a little bit, or say upper 30s to upper 40s from east to west on Saturday. Sunday morning, we're in the 20s to near 30. And then Sunday afternoon, again, low 30s in the north to the upper 40s to near 50 in the south. But again, even 47 on Sunday. That's a few degrees below average for us now here in Lincoln. If you look at the 7-day forecast, probably Thursday. Again, tomorrow, obviously the good chance, especially through the morning, early afternoon. Then Saturday, that chance. But then looks like mainly dry Sunday into next week. Temperatures finally kind of climbing back up near average by middle of next week.
Right, yeah, because today, I believe, is when we start our average high of 50 in Lincoln.
Yep.
So you can see the next 6 days, we're still looking below average for a high temperature. And then, yeah, maybe middle to late next week, we start to warm it up a little bit.
But maybe only briefly, because again, we've shown you this temperature outlook several times over
Right.
the past several days. Below average temperatures continue to dominate. So even if we do warm up, it looks like maybe briefly, kind of the opposite of what we had in February when we stayed warm,
Right.
briefly cooled down, then warm back up, staying a little bit cooler, briefly warming back up by late next week. All right, anything else that we need to add, Brandon?
No, I think we covered it. Just stay tuned. You know, things could still change with that potential for the rain, the snow, the ice for tonight and tomorrow. We'll keep you updated at 5, 6, and 10 tonight. And, of course, morning show 5 a.m. tomorrow.
Awesome. All right, well, make sure everyone, again, you keep tuned to 1011 for all of your news, weather and sports. Appreciate everyone watching and hope everyone has a nice Wednesday.